It's been 2 years, but Black Mirror finally returns for season 7, streaming right now on Netflix. I watched it. I actually watched it in advance. I'm late to getting this review out, but we gotta talk about it. So, folks, let's jump into the review of that right now. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today we're going to be reviewing season 7 of Black Mirror, streaming right now on Netflix. 2 years. And I knew we were all waiting for this. Everybody loves Black Mirror. And if it ever gets canceled, I'm sure there will be a price to pay from the fans. But I did check this season out. And there's a lot I really want to talk about with this one. And I think the most important thing about it is, was it my favorite season? Where did I rank it amongst the others? Etc., etc., etc. So I'm not going to rank it against the other ones. But I did like this season, but by no means was it my favorite. But first thing first for me is, like, when I took a look at who was going to be some of the celebrity guests in this season, I mean, the Issa Rae Aquafina episode, which is Hotel Reverie, which is the second episode. I couldn't wait to see that combination, and it by no means was it's my second favorite episode, but it did not disappoint to any extent. And my favorite episode, I should just say, is episode 1, which is Common People with Rashida Jones and Tracy Ellis Ross. I was not expecting that episode to be as bizarre as it was. But let's do some house cleaning real quick. First thing first is, because it is an anthology and there is 6 episodes, the recommended order to watch these are directly in the order that they come. Just to throw that out there, so you don't have nothing to worry about on that note. Just watch it directly in the order that they are represented, and you'll be fine, because they don't list as episode 1, episode 2, but in order where you see that on Netflix, that's exactly the recommended order that you should watch it. Also, this season we have its first sequel, and who would have thought? In the anthology, where now 7 seasons, we have a sequel to one of the most popular episodes, and that's USS Callister, which in this season we have the sequel of USS Callister into Infinity. It's a good episode. As bizarre, it pushes the limits beyond the first one, but it's super ambitious, and I'll just leave it at that for right now. But I really do want to talk about my favorite in Common People, because this is insane, and I couldn't help but to talk the entire time through this episode, because just the fact of sort of the technical relevance that's kind of happening here, and that's what all of Black Mirror is really a deep dive into, like, human psychology, but also just seeing at times just how far technology could go, but also how dangerous technology could be. And, like, I know we always think dangerous and we think AI, but, like, I love how they take very normal things and flip it on its head in a way that you just was not expecting. But in this one, Rashida Jones, she's this teacher, Amanda, and her husband, Mike. Everything's good until Amanda ends up having, I believe, like a brain tumor or brain aneurysm, something of that sort, and she gets this futuristic procedure where they drop an implant in her head, and she has to get they got a clone of her head, of her brain, and then she has to get brain signals sent to her in order for her to operate normally. If her brain was an iPad with a cellular subscription to it, because the moment she steps out of the cellular network, then she will start to malfunction. It's bizarre as I don't know what, but I got to tell you, Rashida Jones is so good in this. Just how far you see a husband go for love, played by Chris O'Dowd. And then Tracy Ellis Ross is the con artist of a business person selling them this subscription to Rivermind. It's this service that keeps the brain going. It just is unbelievably uncomfortable, but wow, if it wasn't, it wouldn't be Black Mirror. I highly recommend this episode. It's probably one of my favorite episodes of all of Black Mirror. So on that note, like, it's without a doubt my favorite. Episode 3, Hotel Reverie, with Aquafina and Issa Rae. I mean, again, I just couldn't help but to be interested in this combo, and they do such a good job. First of all, Issa Rae just in Black Mirror alone was something that one could only hope for, and her being in it, her character who's in this sort of movie simulation and basically how AI programming can write a movie, and you can even it's so complex that, and again, I watched this one time, so I definitely need to watch some of these probably again, especially the finale episode. But like, a little of it went over my head initially, but after a while you start to think like, oh my God, could this actually be a possibility? Like, you can go in and like interject into like a film and sort of like a not a realism, a realistic state, but like, you know, they create this artificial environment to simulate your acting in a movie, and you can be piped in cues, you can alter the script. It's a lot. But with that being said, like, I do love how this episode 100% show you how fantastic our actors, everybody involved was, but just something so out of the box that you just could not believe who could think of such a concept. Episode 4, Plaything. I got to tell you that Will Poulter has been having the most insane year of releases, from first of all, from Death of a Unicorn, and then one movie I really think you absolutely have to check out is Warfare. This guy Range, and this is a person I've not even been high on. I know everybody want to talk about his work with Marvel, but like, I really have never been high on him. But I got to tell you, I'm eating my words, because his range is just unbelievable. And just seeing how wide of a range he has within the last month alone, with 3 separate projects. I need more Will, and he was so good in this one. So Plaything, so in order, just to be very clear, Common People's number 1, Hotel Reverie is number 2, and then number 3 is episode 5, Eulogy. It's such a sweet episode, where you have a guy basically being able to go back and go into this sort of simulation to trigger memories of when he first met his wife, and just going down particular moments of their history, sort of triggering emotions again, and just recounting all the events. I mean, we all, I would imagine, would die to have something of this sort, to go back, to really go back and be like directly in those moments, some of our best moments of our life, with our loved ones. It's such a sweet concept, that I was very pro in terms of like, let's make this happen, you know. But I love the concept. It really is about the concepts with these episodes, and I thought that one was such a very interesting one. Now, last but not least is the USS Callister Into Infinity. It's the sequel, and again, I'm not sure if any of us really thought that we would ever get a sequel to anything, but I think it's enough of a reaction to some of the previous episodes that either one, we would like to see certain cast members return and to some capacity, or we get this where we get everybody return in the same in the same world that they existed in before, and it's just continuing the story. And I mean, the names involved here and everything that these folks have done, from Kristen to Billy, all these folks, having them back to come back into Black Mirror. I mean, this one might be the most star-studded cast of all of them. I like this episode, but I definitely need to watch it again. But this episode did what it needed to do. It pushed the limits to the point that maybe there's more. Do we get a trilogy here? I think the answer has to be yes. But listen, this was a very solid episode. Of the 7 seasons, this was a very solid one. Now, granted, we had to wait forever to get to this. I I'm not sure if I want to wait another 2 years. I would like for them to be able to do more sooner. Oh, I need to go back really quickly because with the Will Poulter episode, which is episode 4, Plaything, all the gamers out there, tell me that you didn't feel the highest amount of nostalgia from all the different properties that were involved, that you got little glimpses of. I mean, like, granted, I saw the Dreamcast box from a mile away, and I was like, Dreamcast, yes. But nonetheless, no, again, this was a very solid season. Definitely not my favorite, but like, for what it's worth, for the 6th episode, each and every one had me entertained. I don't think there was one I was kind of like, no. I definitely had favorites. And again, I think with Common People, I think this definitely goes within my top 5 of all the seasons here. I just not trying to wait 2 years. And I feel like, maybe that's their reputation, because it was even worse between 5 and 6, since that was 2019 to 2023. But let's get it going, Netflix, man. Let's get these episodes, these seasons rolling out sooner. We want more. But Black Mirror continues to be a must-watch. You absolutely want to check it out. They're all available right now. Once you check it out, folks, jump in the comments. Let me know your thoughts about Black Mirror Season 7. And as always, stick around for more reviews and content here at Big Gold Belt Media very soon. Thank you for watching, folks.